One thing is for sure is that praise has the power to change self-perceptions. That no matter how low we feel or how down we feel, that when somebody praises our efforts, much like that last segment we talked about, that when somebody makes us feel good about ourselves, that we feel more likely to want to do business with those people, don't we? It's one of the reasons why if you go into some stores, you'll hear the real upbeat music. You ever hear that in some of these new clothing stores? You'll hear the new, some of the old disco stuff going on, like in the old Navy stores, or you go to a Starbucks, you hear a lot of music going on in the background. And usually at our seminars, you hear a lot of music too. And because they're trying to make you feel good about yourself, and the better you feel about yourself, the higher perception you have of yourself. And when you feel good about yourself, do you feel like you should treat yourself or buy something cheaper? How do you normally make yourself feel there? You want to treat yourself. When you're feeling good about yourself, when you're out, you and your family are strolling on the shores of some lake on a weekend and having a great old time, you're like, yeah, let's just go to the restaurant. Let's just roll up the bill. Let's go get the credit card. Let's go somewhere real good today. Let's go to that steakhouse over there we always wanted to go to. Let's do something special, right? Yeah, let the kids go on the rides too. What the hell? Let's let it roll, right? Isn't how we go to Disneyland or something like that? We don't go cheap. Once you're there, just let's get the full, get all 3 park passes. We're gonna be here for a week, and might as well get it, right? Let's treat ourselves. Isn't that how we always do it? We know we don't go to the ball game, for instance, and what costs like $8 for a beer now. But you know what? How often do you go to a ball game? You know, sure, let's let it roll. Let's get the $8 beer and let's have that too. How about go ahead and have a $6 hot dog? It's okay. Treat yourself. I think that when we feel good about ourselves, it has the power to change our self-perception. Our perception of ourselves, it's a very important component in what we purchase. Can we admit that people who buy a Cadillac must be doing it for a reason, right? Since they're essentially the same car as a Chevy, except for with a few more horsepower and a different grill on the front of it, that the reason why they're doing it must be to treat themselves or to make themselves feel like I'm a Cadillac kind of guy, as opposed to a Chevy kind of guy, correct? Will we admit that? Or if you get an Apple computer, it says something about yourself. If you buy the iPod, it says something about you. You go to Starbucks, it's saying something about you too. Dunkin' Donuts says something else. Everything speaks for us in that kind of way. We even wear T-shirts with different sayings on them, right? To try and express our emotions and our feelings out there to the public. We're screaming out within in the purchases we make. That's how we communicate with each other in many ways. Well, if I feel valued, I feel I deserve the best. That's kind of the mantra you have to think here at this point. Self-esteem in Americans is very poor. There have been many studies that show that only 10% of Americans actually feel a degree of self-esteem and as if they deserve something better. Most people feel like I don't deserve the best. I don't deserve something better. Otherwise, they would spend more money on things. They would always be going for the best. There's very few people who go for the top option. There's only 15% who will travel to the top. Most people choose the middle. They want to be part of the pack, part of the tribe, right? They want to fit in, be validated, just like other people. That's where most of it feel. Only 5%, the self-esteem is so low that we don't feel like we're worth anything. Just don't buy anything, or don't buy something so low. I'm embarrassed to even know that this costs so much. They feel embarrassed almost, right? Very few people feel that way. False compliments that we give can repel or be dangerous. Like if we go to the door, people, trying to find a way to connect with people, to say one of these things like, nice flowers you have, Mrs. Johnson. If I told you to script that, like I used to put it, I'll tell you what, I'm going to confess something. I used to have it in my manual, you will give a compliment. Go to door, press doorbell, because I didn't want you to knock back in those days. I found that didn't make a difference after a while. Knock, doorbell, doesn't make a difference. Open the door, say your name, hand the business card, and then say the compliment. That's what I used to say. The truth is I never had so many guys complimenting people with such crappy results. It didn't really work. What does work, though, is a true compliment or something that's true. But be careful. When you volunteer compliments, you can get in trouble. So false compliments can lead you into dangerous territory. You can say something like, beautiful piano, do you play? And they could say, that's my ex-husband who left it here. You play piano too? You're just like him, right? You might say, I play piano because you're self-centered. Oh, I play piano. Do you play too? No, that's my ex-husband. He left this crappy thing here with me. Now you're just like the ex-husband. See how you could be screwing the deal here? The best thing about compliments is don't give any unless they're really heartfelt and they mean something. You know they're true. Like the thing we talked about where somebody says they're struggling with something, you can compliment them on their heroic effort to get through the struggle. You can never go wrong there. Don't compliment material possessions. Just a bad idea to get into complimenting nice car you got there. Then the person thinks, oh, I see, he's profiling me because I got my car. Well, that's a nice Maserati you got there, right? Nice. That's a nice Lexus you got there. Then it makes people think, oh, he's trying to profile me and sell me something expensive now. You're pretty much going to shoot yourself in the foot by saying that kind of thing. Stay away from complimenting material merchandise. Now, let's go over the 9 major accomplishments that draw customers to you and create a magnetic draw. The first thing you can always talk about, now, Dustin and I were just talking about this before the segment began, and we were saying basically these things there's 9 things I'm going to share with you that you can bring up and talk about and ask questions about. Ask questions. Don't talk. Ask questions first. Find out how people feel about it, and then give your 2 cents. That's the best way to do it. Now, when you do these 9 things, spread them out throughout the entire call. Don't sit there at the front door and jibber jabber about 9 things right now. We don't got time. But there's 9 major accomplishments I want you to look at. Number 1, you can always talk about the home. Write that down. Number 1, the home. So you can start out by saying something like, so John, how old is this part of the system here? How old is this electrical system? How old is this air conditioning system? Well, I think it's 13 years old. I think it's 2 years old, whatever it is, right? And you could say, next question could be, well, how long have you lived here, John? Right into that, right? Well, I've been here for 13 years, too. Oh, you're here when the house was built? Yeah, the house was built. Are you from, now stay with the home. Are you from this area? Oh, no, I'm from Connecticut. Oh, you moved to Libertyville from Connecticut? What brought you out this way? Boom, your next subject's going to come up. I'm not sure what it'll be. What is it usually that brings people from one part of the country to another? Oh, I got a job over at Abbott Laboratories over here. You did? Oh my goodness, what kind of job do you do there? I didn't know that. What do you do? So I work as a chemist in the laboratory. Oh, what kind of projects are you working on right now? You guys can do this while you're working, right? You don't got to be stationary while you're asking these questions. You should continue to work, continue to move, continue to get your gauges out. This is a great gift I'm telling you to have. Because if you have this gift, the pressure's off of you. You with me on this? Now they're not looking over your shoulder. What are you seeing there? Kind of deal. You ever feel that before? The pressure of people looking over your shoulder? Well, not anymore. If you're using this, as soon as people start looking over your shoulder, give them a job to start talking about themselves. What do you start talking about? Number 1 is the home. Number 2 is work. Go right into the job. Usually the home leads right into the job. It could also be education. So when somebody they got a job as a chemist, or they got a job at someplace, well, how'd you get that kind of education? Where'd you go to school for that? I went to school at the University of Minnesota. Oh, that's a great university. How'd you get into there? What was that like? What city was that in? Ask different questions about the education. Was it difficult? How many years did you go there? What kind of degree did you get? What'd you major in? Those are all things you could, education could go on. Where'd you go to high school? Are you from this area? I'm from this, yeah, I grew up in this area originally. Oh, what do you do for a living? Well, I work over here at the city. I'm an inspector for the building inspector. Oh, you are? Well, I don't do much new construction, so what's it like doing that kind of job? How'd you get that kind of job anyway? Did you have to go to school for that kind of job? Oh, yeah, I went to all kinds of school. Education, right into education, right? Then you got school, you got home, work, education's number 3. Then family. Something like this. You got a big family? So, John, you got a big family? Something like that, you can question that. Oh, yeah, we got 3 kids, we got one. No, we got a small family, 1 kid. Well, that's great. That's great. So you got a little bit of freedom. What do you guys do for fun? So family, then you got fun, like recreation. What do you guys do for fun? Oh, my kid's in Little League and my daughter's in soccer. Bingo, you got one right there. Softball. What do you say there? Whew. They underhanded it to you. When I do this, it's time for reverse compliment. What do you do? John, that's so nice. So you got soccer and baseball? My goodness, your kids are so lucky to have parents like you who really take them around and do all that stuff. That's so fortunate they got parents. Most parents would never do that for your kids like you're doing. God bless you. That kind of thing. See what I'm saying there? It's always ready to go. It's like right on the table for you. You guys are so close. It's like these pitches are going right by you. It's omnipresent. When you do the 9 major accomplishments, that stuff just pops up out of the blue. The kids, the dog. Yeah, our dog's got a tumor. Oh, it's so sad. What's the name? Misty. I do know one thing. What? What do I know about Misty?
Misty's lucky to have an owner like you.
Thank you. Let's give Mike a big hand in that one. Mike, you're starting to get it. Excellent. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. That's great. You're getting it. That's exactly it. I tell you what, Misty's so lucky to have an owner like you. One time I had a dog over here, and I used to work here in Mundelein. There was a dog on Route 60. And he had a big tumor come out the side. His name was Lucky. We had to always laugh at that one because it didn't look too lucky to us. But anyway, you got family, recreation, hobbies. His next thing, what does he do for so what do you do for fun yourself, John? What do you do to kind of relax for yourself? Right, those kind of things like that. I play golf, play tennis, bowling, sportsman. It's the things that they do individually, not family recreation, but his own fun things they do. I go to football games. I got season tickets. You do? What do you like? What is that? Vikings. Where do you got you got Vikings tickets? Oh my God, it's like hard to get. Where'd you get? Where do you sit? I haven't been invited yet, John. What happened? I have fun with that kind of stuff, you know. But anyway, hobbies. How about pets? Write that down for yourself too. Pets. People love to talk about their pets, don't they? Don't let the pet train stop. Once the pet train begins, let it roll, man. What kind of dog is that? What's his name? What kind of dog is that? You don't like pets? Start to like them. Go against the grain. Do something you don't like to do. Like the pet. You getting down on your one knee and petting that dog on its head and saying, "Oh, that's a good boy," is going to go a long way toward getting some kind of a persuasive obligation later on, right? It's going to work for you. Pets, recreation, hobbies, travel is another good one. You guys got any vacations planned? So where are you going on vacation? People love to talk about their vacations. Don't you? I mean, you go somewhere, it's like an accomplishment. It's like an achievement. Like I went to Key West, and David you can't stop talking about all those vacations. Someday he's going to invite me to one. I can't wait for the invitation. I've never got an invitation yet, but I'm still waiting. Someday we'll get the RV coming by Los Angeles picking me up. I'll know when I'm invited. So hobbies, travel, and current events is the final thing. 9th is current events. The main current event right now you need to know about is the green economy or global warming. That's the main thing. Because so much of what you sell, you think automatically people would want to buy it by being green, right? This word green. Does the word green repel some people, though? Yeah. I tell you what, Chief, before you start saying something's green, you better find out if it's meaningful. Because you're going to be jibber-jabbering to some Rush Limbaugh guy, and you're screwed. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah. This has got the green, the new green inefficiencies, and you're going green over the gills, right? And this guy's like, what a boob. He believes in this crap? Man, that guy's a moron. I thought Quentin was smart. I couldn't believe he's just stupid. He actually believes in that stuff. For a while, I was actually liking this guy. That's what they're thinking. You repel people so quickly on that one item. So what do? Find out what they think about it. So John, what's your opinion about this new green movement that everybody's talking about? Some people will say what? Joe, planet Earth is our friend and we have to save him. Or her. It's always lady. For some reason, planet Earth got to be a lady. For some reason. Not the old man, it's the old lady, right? That's the old Mississippi. So it's always a woman. So the green movement, some people were like, Joe, I don't care about that stuff. I think it's just a big hoax by the left wing. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And then you don't say you agree or disagree. Remember, you're just an interviewer, right? It's okay to ask somebody's opinion without interjecting yours. Is it possible to do that? Yeah. So you don't lie and say I don't believe in it. If you do believe in it, then just say, that's interesting, John. Why do you think that? Why is that? That's pretty contrary to a lot of people. Why do you think that's true? Well, I heard this, and this. Yeah. Well, and then you can say something like, John, There's quite a few people who believe the same things you do. There's quite a few people who believe the same thing. If he asks you what you believe, you say, hey, listen, I'm a green collar worker. You're talking to the wrong guy. I mean, of course I got to believe in it because it's my job. So I have to believe in this. Otherwise, I couldn't go to work every day. Right? You can tell him the truth eventually if he presses you on the truth, But don't interject it like you're all proud of being green, right? So the current event you need to know about is very important. That's one of the biggest current events you need to know about. The importance of mixing threes. I'm going to share this with you real quick. Now, we talked about these 9 major achievements and the questions you could ask. Remember, you can't say anything about them. You got to ask questions about them, right? Here's the rule. No more than 3 questions about this personal stuff before you go back into a technical question. With me on this? So what does that sound like? I'll try it with somebody. Get the mic close to you over there, Dave. Here's the mic. Go. You do it. You do it, Tom. Here over there. See, got the thing on? Here we go. So it's like, hey, Tom, hey, how long you lived in this house for?
9 years.
9 years? Oh, my goodness. You from this area?
Yep. Born and raised.
Born and raised. What was it like when you were a kid in this area? It must have been pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it was. Not near as many houses as now.
Hey, Tom, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Would you say this house is pretty much dust-free? There's no dust problem in this house, right?
Oh, no, my wife says it's dusty all the time.
Really? I mean, well, how come you chose not to do anything about it?
Well, what can I do?
You didn't hear the newest thing that just came out about air quality?
No.
It was in Popper Mechanics. You didn't hear about it?
No, don't read that.
Well, I'm just here for the tune-up today, so I won't talk about it, okay?
Well, let me know what it is, Joe.
Are you sure?
Yeah, please.
Well, let me finish my tune-up and I'll get some things for you on this, okay? What did I just do right there? Create desire, curiosity, right? That's how I sell an upgrade. What I do, you see how I had the personal questions, and then all of a sudden I dropped the technical question right there about the air quality. The rule of 3. Now, I can't go more than 3 air quality questions. What kind of allergies do you got, Tom?
Well, mine aren't too bad. My wife seems to be developing some.
She does. Oh, my goodness. Well, is she going to the doctor for that kind of stuff?
Well, no, not yet.
Oh, my goodness. Well, she's suffering bad enough without the doctor, though, I guess, huh?
Yeah, she complains about it all the time.
Huh. Hey, Tom, I got a question for you. What do you do? I never asked you. What do you do for a living?
I'm an auto mechanic.
Auto mechanic. That's great. What kind of education you got for that? So I go into personal stuff. I can shift the person away. You got to keep people off guard. You guys ever see a scripted list of questions, what it looks like when you have to read those from a sales boot camp or something like that? It's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is air quality? 10. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is reliability? 10. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, Joe, put 10 for everything. Do you feel good? If I told you to read the script of questions, would you want to do that? If I told you to do it, you have to do it. Would you do it? You probably walk out of this class. But if that's what I got to do, I'm out of here. You don't got to do that. You can mix them in. This whole thing that happens, home, work, this is a natural sequence that makes sense, but the customer might volunteer one or the other first. You might get to the door, and the kids are all going crazy, and I might say something like, John, it looks like tonight, right now is a bad time for you. Is it a bad time? I should maybe reschedule the call? And he'd say, no, I get the kids here. I tell you, it's tough with these kids. I'm home with them all day today, and they're ill. They got the cold, and I got 3 kids, and he's telling you all the stuff about the kids right now, right? So it might get out of sequence. That's why I give you all 9 of them, because those areas you can talk about. But some may come up on their own without you having to bring them up in that order. Be creative and flexible when it comes to this area. Remember, people buy more when they like themselves, and they like themselves more when you act like you're interested in them.